Assalamualaikum, Dr. Nazim here again with another video. So in this video you are seeing a baby who is lying in the incubator under a blue light and with oxygen support. So this was a preterm baby who was delivered at 31 weeks of gestation and presented to us with respiratory distress. It was a severe respiratory distress with grunting and increased work of breathing. He was started on CPAP as you're seeing in the video. These are the calibrated markings showing this oxygen flow at liters per minute. So currently both the air and oxygen flow is at 3 liters per minute, and along with that this is the PEEP generator, and currently the PEEP is set at 5 centimeters of water. So it is basically the basic mechanism of CPAP that it generates a peak and expiratory pressure, which keeps the lungs open and causes recruitment of new alveoli that are collapsed. They are also get open, and this results in decrease in the dead space and increase in the functional alveoli. This is the overall setup for CPAP. These are the wide bore corrugated tubes so that the oxygen can flow with ease without resistance. So this is the overall incubator setup. The blue light is because of the phototherapy, as the baby also started developing jaundice. Prematurity is a risk factor for earlier development of jaundice, and the severity of jaundice may increase with resulting increase in complications overall. You can see these wide nasal prongs that are basically fitted into the nostrils, the wide corrugated tubings. One is the inspiratory tube, another is the expiratory end. So as described previously, this is the oxygen flow. We usually start at 4 liters per minute, both the air and the oxygen flow, and then gradually increase if the saturations are not being maintained. And the PEEP is basically the basic mechanism of CPAP. This line is the margin. Till that margin we need to have distilled water in there. There are three lights, basically the green light, the red light, and yellow lights. Currently there's green light showing that there is enough electricity so that the baby CPAP can run safely. This was the overall setup of CPAP. This is the baby CPAP we got by Medica. And then a little about the WHO guidelines for the CPAP support in preterm babies. So the guidelines suggest that if the preterm baby is less than 32 weeks of gestational age, then you have to put the baby on CPAP whether or not the baby is having any respiratory distress, grunting, or increased work of breathing. And if the gestation is more than 32 weeks of gestation and there is no signs of respiratory distress like grunting, increase of the work of breathing, cyanosis, nasal flaring, suprasternal recessions, and subcostal recessions. If there is no such sign, then there is no need of any CPAP support. You just need to observe the baby for any signs of increased respiratory activity or any signs of respiratory distress. But if the baby is more than 32 weeks of gestation and is having signs of respiratory distress, then you need to start the CPAP support. And the initial settings will be, you are going to set the oxygen in the airflow at 4 liters per minute and the PEEP at 5 centimeters of water, and then you have to keenly observe for the vitals improvement, checking the respiratory rate, the pulse rate, the oxygen saturation, and perfusion. So all of these things. If the respiratory distress is not improving or saturations are not improving, then the first thing that you are going to adjust in the CPAP settings is PEEP. You have to gradually increase the PEEP with continuous monitoring of the baby. Like you can move from 5 to 6 and ultimately to 8 centimeters of water. And after that, still if the baby is worsening, then you have to increase the oxygen and the air flow. And all of this is going to require a very strict monitoring of the vitals. And if you are noticing that the uh, condition of the baby is worsening after putting the baby over the CPAP, so you need to rule out any complications that may be associated with the CPAP. A major complication is the hyperinflation of the lungs or the pneumothorax, and other complications like abdominal distension, or some other local complications are also there that associate with the CPAP support. If the prongs are not correctly fitted into the nostrils, they can cause local trauma and nasal septal